What's going on, Dolph fans? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm gonna try and keep this short, hopefully under 10 minutes, but I gotta talk about it because it's out, right? Pro Bowl selections are out, the rosters are out, and it's a big deal, right? You know, it not only says a lot about the players themselves, right, but it also says a lot about the teams that they come from. Now, as it stands, and I don't expect it to change, the Dolphins have absolutely nobody that earned Pro Bowl recognition. And that's not surprising, though. Why is that, right? So why is that not surprising? Well, for one, the Dolphins are a terrible team, right? Just across the board, in all ways, shapes, and forms. They are terrible. But why are they terrible? They're terrible by design, right? By the directive of Stephen Ross that was set down to Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, and Brian Flores, who all acquiesced to that directive and set out to ensure and continue to ensure that they are just about as bad as they can possibly be. Now, here's the thing, right? So even bad teams can sometimes get guys to the, into the Pro Bowl. And even when we were mediocre in the past or had down seasons, we could still, get one or two guys. Cameron Wake was usually a lock to go, right? Blah, blah, blah. But the thing is when you take a team and you systematically ensure that you have no talent across the team, not only do you have a team that's terrible, but then you have a team that's got no talent on it. Now, Xavier Howard wasn't having, as good a year as he had, last year, right? Prior to his injury, and that's in part because of how the team was absolutely destroyed as far as the roster goes. But, even if he didn't end up on injured reserve, he might not have even gotten, consideration. Maybe he would have, right? He likely would have at least been in the conversation. Would he have gotten in? The stink of the Dolphins might have still kept him out. I don't know. Obviously, we won't know. But, so the Dolphins potentially could have had, one guy, right? The only other player maybe that you could put into that conversation and that people are talking about a little bit is Devontae Parker. Now, with him, again, his first 4 seasons, right? And then he's having certainly a career year, and certainly leads and I saw somewhere that he leads the AFC with 8 touchdowns, but obviously the majority of that was backloaded, meaning in the past few games, as opposed to spread out throughout the season, or whatever. And so, did he get a little bit of a snub? Sure. Maybe. But also he does need to show the consistency, and he does need to continue to produce at that level that he has in, some of the past few games. The ones in particular where, he really dominated. The 2 games that he had that were over 100 yards. The one in particular that it was 140, 150 yards with 2 touchdowns, right? So, but everyone else literally are again, maybe average at best, right? But let's take a look. So, this article I read didn't mention that there are some former Dolphins that made it in. Jarvis Landry made it in. Obviously, he's on the Browns, and, so whatever. He's still, as much as I hated them getting rid of him to begin with, and then understood it and came to terms with it as I thought about it more, he's still my boy. I still love Juice. I still have his jersey, so, and I do miss him as a Dolphin. However, I do think at the end of the day it was the right move, and whatever. But he's still a really good player and all that. He's still one of the best slot corners, slot receivers in the league. Good for him, especially since the Browns are at the very least, not living up to their potential or anywhere near. But let's look at some of the other Dolphins, and these 3 are really notable, okay? Tackle Laramie Tunsil from the Houston Texans. Houston Texans are on pace to win their division, make it to the playoffs. Tunsil and Stills are big parts of that. Tunsil is going to the Pro Bowl now as a Texan. He could have been going to the Pro Bowl as a Dolphin if he was still in a Dolphins uniform. Okay. Let's see. Safety Minkah Fitzpatrick with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Balling out for the Steelers, who almost single-handedly helped turn that team around to get them into the position they're in playoff contention. Okay. You know, also in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. All right. He's going to the Pro Bowl now, and he could be going to the Pro Bowl as a Miami Dolphin. And then let's see. Tennessee Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill. Now, to be fair, he's an alternate in the game, but Tennessee Titans quarterback Ryan motherfucking Tannehill. The quarterback that everybody says is, that most people, not everybody, but most people say is a bad quarterback or like just average at best, blah, 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 blah. Nah. The dude is a beast, a boss. He's an Iron Man. He stands in that pocket and delivers accurate balls. He can make any throw on the field. He's good in the RPO, good with his legs. Is he perfect? No. And is he like elite status like Brady, Rodgers, or Mahomes? No, but he doesn't have to be. He's a great quarterback. And every other team, like, so people are talking about maybe potentially Brady coming to the Dolphins. I guarantee you that one of the reasons why he won't is because he knows that he's not, no matter how great he is not going to be able to elevate the Dolphins out of the shit that they're in by himself. Why? Because even the best of the best need to have a team around them. Does anybody honestly think that if Tom Brady came out, in what round would he come in? 5th, 6th round? When he came out in the draft, if he got drafted by some other team that was shitty, that fucking didn't have, you know, Bill Belichick as the head coach and you know, a solid team around him, etc., 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 does anybody honestly think that Tom Brady would have, you know, like if Tom Brady would have came out on a Dolphins team or a similar team, right? A team that's fucking full on fucking tanking to shit, right? Like, really does anybody think that Tom Brady would have, you know, been able to elevate the team? Does he make some players, does he make the players around him better? Yes, but the players around him that he makes better are already really good players, right? It's like, it's just, it's insanity. Anyway, so, but it goes back to my point about how we didn't have to do this. It was absolutely unnecessary from Jump Street to hit the button, the you know, nuclear button. Motherfucker hit the launch codes on this franchise. Stephen Ross hit the fucking launch codes on his franchise and just blew it to shit. And it was unnecessary. It didn't have to happen. If Adam Gase and the team from last year was able to have another year and get healthy with another draft, Laramie Tunsil, motherfucking Minkah Fitzpatrick at free safety, by the way, the position that he's natural at, the position that he played most in college, the position that he got drafted for by Adam Gase, okay? Balling at fucking free safety for the Steelers. None of it was necessary. We could have had, you know, the continuous record-setting Frank Gore still. We could have had Tannehill, a fucking Pro Bowl alternate. We could have had Minkah Fitzpatrick balling at free safety going to the Pro Bowl. Xavier Howard probably going with him. We could have had Parker maybe going with him if he would have stuck around and still had the kind of season he did. Like, I mean, it's absolutely absurd to me that over 70% of the motherfucking Dolphins fan base still is on board with this madness. It never needed to happen to begin with. They've been absolute shit with their talent evaluation to this point. They've already fucking told us that they're going to be big spenders in free agency, which has been a proven failure for this franchise and under Stephen Ross in particular. And their first draft is massively underwhelming in its first year. Massively underwhelming. Okay? Again, Josh Rosen is like pretty much a complete failure at this point. That's your 2nd round pick and a 5th from next year. Chandler Cox, MIA the entire fucking season. Myles Gaskin hasn't done shit in his limited time pretty much, and was inactive for 10 seasons. Andrew Van Ginkel spent half the season on injured reserve and has made like a couple special teams play, and that's about it. Fucking Christian Wilkins is okay. Like, and then people think that these motherfuckers are gonna be able to handle the next draft and the next draft and next year. Like the most like ludicrous thing that people think and people talk about and people say is, man, next year the Dolphins are gonna be fucking competitive as shit. Look at the fucking Browns, man. Look at the Browns. They are in year 4. Jarvis Landry and OBJ want to fucking jump ship and get out of there, right? I mean, like, do people really, like, have to go through pain and suffering before they wake up and stop being stupid? Apparently, because that's all that people ever do. That's all that people ever do. People don't ever learn from history or from the mistakes that they make. They completely ignore it. Now, to be fair to most people, it is designed this way. We are bred to be stupid. We are bred not to be critical thinkers. We are bred not to be able to see the reality in front of our fucking face. Matter of fact, there's a large contingent of people, especially in this country, that are bred to be so hateful, disgusting, so fearful that they will even be convinced to do things against their own good. It's absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. But they will just ignore facts and reality all day, all day, all day, all day. Okay, but here, I am here to change that shit because it's ridiculous. God damn it, I will bring the fucking truth to light, and I will continue. So that's how I'm going to end this, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoy my videos and my perspective. I hope you do, and if you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get alerts from my videos, make sure you share my channel and my videos with your friends and family. Come on, guys, we're getting there, we're moving our way. We need to get this channel to 1,000. I appreciate everybody that's helped me to this point, all my current subscribers and all those that get the word out there. Also, make sure that you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Phins up.